What's going on, Neat fam? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today's video is specifically for anyone looking for paperwork, decluttering, and organizing, motivation, tips, ideas, all of the above. I'm going to be breaking things down step by step. It really does come down to 3 main steps, but there's a lot of little things in between, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. But be sure to stick around to the end of this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. I welcome you and hope you will become part of the Neat fam. I have actually been meaning to organize my paperwork for quite some time now. It's one of those dreaded tasks because it is a little time consuming depending on how much you have to go through. And the very first step is to sort. So I have already done this off camera because there's a lot of personal information in my paperwork. So I have made these little cover sheets, but as you can see, I have categorized everything with things that I am going to keep. And of course, I have my pile of recycle and of shredding because I am not keeping everything. So let's get into it. So you obviously want to have a designated space to organize and store your paperwork. I personally like bins with lids because it keeps the dust out, but honestly, there are a numerous amount of ways that you can store and organize your paperwork. I will actually list a few different ways here so that you can get a few different ideas, but I've had this box for a while. I just needed to buy some new hanging folders, and these actually came with their own labels and own little label inserts. So now that I have accomplished step 1, which honestly is the most time-consuming step, is all the sorting, I can now insert all my little labels since I know all of my categories so that this box is ready to go for all my paperwork. Okay, so now that everything is sorted and categorized, step 2 is to shred. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch to shred, which is what happens when you let your paperwork pile up. And I actually set out my shredder here near the recycling bin and the trash can bin to avoid paperwork piling up. So everything you see here in this pile is actually stuff from before I put the shredder here, because since putting the shredder here, it has actually helped a lot. Every now and then a little stack gets piled up on top of the shredder, but honestly, it can't pile up too much before it starts toppling over and we have to shred it. So it has definitely helped us in our household. So that's a little tip if you have the space for it, or if it makes sense for your home, put it right there near your trash can and shred those things immediately. All that junk mail, whatever you don't need, discard of it as soon as you can to avoid it from piling up. Otherwise, you'll end up shredding for hours like me over here. But if you do have a ton to shred, there are actually local shredding services. If sitting at a shredder for hours at a time is not your thing, or if there's just way too much to discard of, like if you have years and years of paperwork, or if you just don't have a shredder, there are definitely places that will do it for you. So you can search local shredding services and just look at all your options. I'm sure there will be quite a few different places for you to pick from. But if you are at home shredding like me, things to consider shredding, of course, are anything with your personal information on it, such as social security numbers, checking account numbers, driver's license information, your email, or your personal address, basically anything that you wouldn't want a stranger to get a hold of. But there are also other things that you should consider getting rid of. Even if you're not shredding it, you can recycle it. So to avoid unnecessary paper clutter, I am going to list a few things that you really should consider getting rid of. These are things that a lot of us are guilty of holding on to, but I promise you, you are not going to need these things again. Okay, and now for the final step, save. Save the documents that you want to save. I'm actually going to list a few examples here of things that you should consider saving, things that are okay to hold on to, that are not considered clutter, because you will probably need these documents. They're important documents. They're things you need on hand, things you need to know, history, etc. So Take a look at these examples here, and there are also a variety of ways for you to save your documents. So obviously I'm keeping mine in paperwork format and I'm storing them in my little storage box here, but you can actually digitalize everything too if that makes the most sense for you, if that's going to be easier for you to access everything. You can scan things, upload them to your laptop or your computer. I mean, you can look up local digital filing services. There are a lot of options, so don't be afraid to explore different things because there are definitely several options for you if you want to go completely paperless. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope that you found these tips useful. I hope you've found some extra motivation to get your paperwork nice and decluttered and organized. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time.